Hey lovers, my name's Juliet. I'm from Little Stag Floral Couture. We thought during the coronavirus and the lockdown time that we might get a little interactive, have a chat with our brides and grooms and everybody else. We have been doing a Q&A on our Instagram night, IGTV, so we thought today we would chat through the answers and see if we can shed some light on our industry and wedding planning in general. One of the first questions that we had from one of our lovely brides was, are dates feeling fast for the new year given all of the coronavirus reschedules? The short answer to that is yes, definitely. So we have seen around 6 to 7 months of weddings postponed, which means that the start and middle and even a few months towards the end of next year are really filling very, very quickly. February, March and October are pretty much fully booked. But in saying that, it is a really good idea to just check in with us, ask us what dates we have available, have a chat with your venues and with your venue and just give us a list or a range of dates that might suit you. That way we can see what we already have on for those dates. We absolutely don't want to be double booking people. Your wedding day is very important and we like to have that one-on-one contact. So we don't want to be double booking, but definitely check in with us. Give us a few date options that might work for you, and that way we can fit everybody in as well as all our new inquiries. So hopefully that answers that. Thank you to our bride for asking that question. Next one. What are the best roses for the reflexed staggered height bridal bouquet? So we are seeing a lot of the longer stem roses, the nice staggered heights, you know, a little bit structured, not overly structured, a little ball of flowers, but not all crazy and bohemian and out there. So the best roses for reflexing and for that really nice big kind of frilly look is the Ecuadorian roses. Yes, they are from Ecuador. Yes, we do import them. We do like to use lots of locally grown roses and lots of locally grown flowers, but the Ecuadorians are just stunning. They're a huge bloom. They reflex really well. Nice, big, solid, long stems. We have some great growers in Ecuador that we work with. They're eco-friendly, Rainforest Alliance, beautiful family-owned company. So while we love to support local, we really like to support these guys as well. So in short, they're definitely the best roses to use for that kind of bouquet. Next question, when is the best time to start planning? This is an interesting one that we do have pop up from time to time. And it really is personal preference. There are some brides that will plan 2 years out, which is super far away, but they like to be organised, and I guess they want to go through the process and make sure that everything is done exactly as they want. They have lots of time and there's no stress. Ideally, I think a year is plenty. That way you're not locking in something, thinking that you like a certain style, changing your mind 6 months later, rechanging your mind a year down the track. I think a year is a good time frame. It's enough to lock in your venue or your key suppliers, still have enough time to enjoy the process and not be stressed about it, but not have too much time to kind of overthink things and potentially overplan. Which is a great lead into the next question, which is when should I book my wedding florist? That's us. Again, there's no such thing as too early. You know, there are some brides that know that they want to book us in, or they have their favorite florist that they want to book in, and you can put down a deposit, lock in the date, think about all your planning and you know exactly what it is that you want a little bit down the track. We tend to think that around 9 months is a good amount of time. That way you have your venue locked in, you start to think about what your theme is, what your style is, your colour palette, you know, all of the kind of things that will give you the overall feel for the day. That's the good time to lock in your florist. That's at about 9 months time. That gives us enough time to chat with you, work out all the details of if we need to get anything fabricated, anything made, any big hire items that we might not already have that we can organise to get made or brought in for us. And it's a good amount of time to make any little tweaks and changes, and you know, if you find that you have a little bit more budget or a little bit less budget or whatever it is, we can just refine things and really build that nice relationship as well. For us, it's about building relationships and enjoying the planning with our brides and grooms, not just book your flowers, that's it, we'll see you on the day. You know, it really is a relationship and a process. So around about 9 months is great. 6 months is also good. 6 months time is enough to do all of those things and get it all fine-tuned. Anything less than that is where you start to maybe feel a little bit rushed. We might not have enough time to get everything organised, and you don't have much time to make changes or refine things and fine-tune things. You know, we have had some brides that will contact us with about a month or 2 months before their wedding, and that's just like, oh, panic, we have to really rush to get everything in, and they feel stressed and they're trying to tick everything off really quickly and just, you know, book whatever flowers they can, and they find that on the day that obviously our flowers are amazing, but it might not be exactly what it is that they wanted because they've rushed it, and, you know, they might have chosen pink, for instance, when they really wanted just whites or whatever it might be. So 6 to 9 months is a good amount of time to book your florist in. The next question we had, which is a really interesting one, and this has a few facets to it, the answer to this. So how do I achieve a luxe feel on a budget? Now, luxe, obviously, loom heavy, lots of your expensive flowers, a really soft, opulent feel in terms of overall styling, you know, maybe your gold accents. In terms of what that means for flowers, lots of roses, lots of peonies, lots of orchids, minimal foliages, really nice and big and full. That's what the luxe feel is to us anyway. And obviously staying on trend, and dried foliages and pampas grass, and, you know, all the nice little interesting goodies, lots of vision from us. So that's what luxe is. How do you achieve it on a budget? There are ways that you can use more of the seasonal blooms to, you know, tuck in there, and you kind of don't really notice them, but they do give you that nice soft fluffy look. And then you'll have your bigger flowers throughout, and your more expensive blooms that'll be your feature, but your other ones will kind of bulk it out a little, if you like. That is one way that you can achieve a little bit more of a luxe look on a budget, I guess. In terms of other bits and pieces, other supplies, you know, your invitations or your cake or hair, makeup, all your different supplies, the best thing to do here is have a chat with each of those suppliers. Let them know what your budget is, and ask them the question of, you know, what is it that you can do, or what can you suggest for me so that I can achieve this look, but this is how much I have to spend. And there will be times where these two things are very far apart and you can't achieve this with that, but they might be able to suggest things that you can get a little bit closer to it. We do have brides that will quite often come to us saying, I don't know how much flowers cost, and we completely understand that. We don't expect you to know what flowers cost, and that's okay, and that's where we are here to help. But the best thing to do is have an idea of roughly how much you feel like you can spend on flowers, dress, hair, makeup, cars, all the other bits and pieces. You know, sit down with your partner, have a think about what you feel comfortable spending. If you can then let us know what you feel comfortable spending, then we can tailor something to suit you. You know, flowers range from $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and there are brides in all of those spectrums that feel comfortable spending that amount based on what their special day is, how they want it to be, what they want it to look like, and obviously, you know, their financial capacity to support that. So the best thing to do is chat with all of your suppliers and let them know what it is that you can afford, what you feel comfortable allocating to all of these different aspects, and then working with them to get the look that it is that you want. We would love to be able to, you know, have luxe across the board and have, you know, the absolute best of everything and have it all perfect and intricate and amazing and opulent, but the only way really to achieve all of those things is unfortunately with a big budget, and, you know, sometimes that's just not possible, but that's the best way that we feel that you can maybe achieve that luxe look, but on a bit of a budget. Just talk openly. Another one, and we love this, when are peonies in season in Australia? Peonies, it's one of our favourite flowers. I'm sure that is the same for so many of you brides out there and grooms. Peonies are amazing. They're, you know, they're huge, they're big, they're frilly, they're soft and fluffy, and you know, all that goodness. In Australia, December, January, it can vary a few weeks here or there depending on the weather, seasonal, and all of our flowers really are dependent on the weather. If it's super hot, super cold, if it's been raining a lot, all of these things can change the quality, the quantity, the supply, all that kind of thing. But the answer to that is basically December. Sometimes coming into January you're lucky. In saying that, we can get peonies June, July. Now they're from France, we have them imported. They're a lot more expensive, but if you do have your heart set on having peonies, then June, July girls, you're in luck. December, January girls, you're also in luck. Everybody else, I'm sorry, there's really no substitute that that will give you exactly the same look as these beautiful flowers. Maybe your Ecuadorian roses, some big David Austins, there's a few other local grown pretties, but yeah, peonies December and January. So that is 6 of our questions from last night. We did have a lot more. We need to work through them. I think we'll probably roll them over to next week, and we'll open our Q&A again on Tuesday, pop that up on our story, jump on board, ask us some more questions. Anything that you might be wondering, or anything that you've heard, whatever it might be, throw it at us and we'll do our best to answer your questions and hopefully shed some more light. In the meantime, stay safe and well, and we'll see you next week.